Hello, yogis. Welcome to the second episode of Yoga Etiquette. Today we're going to talk about being late. And as with every episode in this series, not only is what I'm going to talk about apply to yoga and yoga at PPY, but it applies to your whole life. And maybe you're some yoga studio owners, teacher somewhere who has this same issue on your mind and you want to talk about it, share it with the people. Go ahead. I'm happy to tackle the unsavory stuff. So being late is, I'm going to say that it's an addiction. That was my personal experience of it. That being late is an addiction. As a matter of fact, I think that it's such an addiction for so many people that the last time that we did our 40 days personal development program at the studio, that was the biggest upset among people. That just the request, the first rule of 40 days and the first request was to be on time for class and on time for the meeting, and that drew the biggest controversy from the group. So I think that speaks volumes about what a problem it's become in day-to-day life. The impacts of being late at a yoga class are not small. And because one of the mantras that we have in our culture at the studio at PPY, one of the things that we know to be true about life and about habits is that how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're late, we know that you're not just being late to yoga class. We know that you're late everywhere. People are so kind of checked out and used to this. Like we are all as a group, our standard has become so low that we are so used to this that it's such commonplace. We don't think much of it. And when you come into a setting like a class like we have at PPY, I'm not going to speak for all of yoga. As I said, if you're a yoga teacher and you want to use this, and I am speaking for you, that's great, but I'm not going to make any assumptions. At PPY, the experience of being late to a PPY class is disruptive. So what we're trying to do, I've often thought about we have a mission statement and culture and things like that. And a lot of what we are trying to do is train people to not be assholes in life. And I can't say that because then people get all offended. But here I am on the internet saying that. When you're late to yoga, so what you are doing by being late is saying everything is about me. Me. Like it's a very, it's a form of being very self-centered and being very selfish. That's a hard thing to look at. If you haven't looked at that about being late, I say this with a lot of compassion. I've been there. And there's a great set of kind of rules for living that we use in yoga, the yamas and niyamas. And one of the yamas is asteya, which means non-stealing. And being late is stealing time and attention from other people, from yourself and from other people, from the people around you, the people who are committed to you in their life. The act of disrupting everyone else who's gotten in a room of, 40 people who's gotten there on time. You're late. You're stressed out. You come in, ball of stress, trying to get to yoga, ball of stress. You've maybe, right, whoever's at the front desk has kind of gotten that from you. They're trying to help you out. Roll in, got, right, your stuff's everywhere. You might have to ask somebody else who's gotten there on time to move. Slamming your mat down in a pretty quiet room, disrupting the people around you, get all your mats set up. Then you got to set up camp, right? You got to get your hair did, got to get your mat just so, got to go up and get your blocks. And then maybe you feel too self-conscious, so you don't get your blocks, and then you got to go in the middle of class later and go get your blocks. It's a lot. It's too much. It's too much. And we're really looking at, where does ego show up in all aspects of who we are and how we are in the world. And this is such a red flag in how it shows up in being completely just absorbed with self and not aware of surroundings. So that's how, like, the actual physical manifestation of being late to a yoga class at PPY. And we want to get to the point where the mindfulness that we're teaching is so incredibly valuable to you that you start to look at every single aspect of how you are behaving as a person and apply that same level of mindfulness that you have. Being late is such a great example of this because we love to blame everybody else for being late. We love to blame other people. We love to blame family members. We love to blame traffic. We love to blame bosses. We love to blame, outside circumstances. The truth is that 98% of the time, being late is because we tried to do one more thing. We have no business trying to do one more thing when our job every single day, when we wake up, is to be in every single moment with every single breath for the whole day. That's your job when you wake up in the morning. That's how you are with yourself and not stressed out. That's how you are a good person to the people around you and the best person to yourself. You are not the best person if you are, I want to go to yoga. I'm cutting it really close. I think I can make it. I think that's going to be fine. I'm going to check one more thing on Facebook. I'm going to send one more email. I'm going to make one more phone call. I'm going to make one more text. I'm going to have change in the car. Going to be eating my snack in the car on the way. Going to be violating the new hands-free cell phone rule. Going to be mad at everybody in front of me. Everybody in traffic. If you have road rage, girl, first of all, I've been there. Second of all, no one else's fault that you're late. It's no one else's fault that you're in a rush but you. And here you are, stressed out, taking it out on all of these other people. It's entirely in your control. It's an entirely preventable, reversible behavior. The huge problem, so besides the negative impact that you have on everyone else around you, right? Like the surrounding of what's happening and the balance of what's happening when you arrive late in the yoga room. So let's take it off your mat for a second, really look at what's happening, is that this process of not being where you are, okay? So not being right here, right now, where you are, is a stressor. And these micro stressors, like, it doesn't seem like a lot. Like I said, our standard for stress, right, is at, like, the bar is so low that this doesn't seem like a big deal to us anymore. But to our primal makeup and our primal blueprint, it is a big deal. So every time that you make like that little bit of like a rush, like that feeling like I've got to get this done, I've got to get there, I'm not there, I need to do this, I need to do that, I'm feeling stressed out, I'm not really here, I need to get in there, I just need to get it done. All that is saying that translates to your nervous system And the message that your nervous system, the only message out of all the detail that it receives is, this isn't okay, we're not okay, we're not okay, you're not okay, I'm not okay, this isn't okay. So I'm going to take charge of this. I'm going to shut down everything else because we're obviously running from a tiger. We're not trying to get to yoga, but we're running from a tiger. I'm going to shut down digestion. I'm going to pump cortisol. I'm going to shut down, what else am I shutting down? Reproduction, that's got to go. All this other stuff that needs to happen in your body day to day for you to live a life without disease, are all the things that I'm going to get rid of so that we can run from this tiger and hopefully survive. That's what physiologically is going on. That's not what actually is going on. What's going on is that you have an opportunity to look at this habit and improve your well-being, your way of being, how you are with the people that you love, how you are as an example to be in the world. So that's what this is. It's an opportunity. It's an awakening. It's an awareness. And I hope that you've listened to what I had to say today with an open mind. If you feel defensive about it, that's definitely a sign that this is something for you to look at and something for you to be able to improve for yourself and for everybody around you. Till next time, see you soon.